Computer. Lights.
Good morning, everyone. It does look like we've got kind of stream problems today, though. So, last night the router dropped a number of times. So, who knows? We may have a show, or all is possible in the light. So, all right. So we will get cracking today. Ha ha ha! Cracking. Okay, I'm feeling particularly charged today because I've been sick for a whole week, and that's kind of miserable. And I'm not sick this week, so well, good. So I have a list of to-dos that is pretty serious today. So we got lots of stuff to do. I'm gonna get cracking on all of those things. I did, however, kind of work on my office a little bit, get it a little cleaned up. We're gonna have to move the kiddo over into this spot, like right over here. And I haven't quite figured out how to get that to work just yet, but we'll get there. Because actually he kind of needs a little bit shorter of a desk than what I've got going for him right now. So kind of welding unit over here might not be a bad idea. So we'll get that over there, because right now his monitor sticks up just a little too high, when it's on a normal desk. But he's a short kid, so like he doesn't really need to be that high off the ground. So my thought is maybe what I should do, get him something a little shorter, which would then fit, the monitor would fit underneath. So I feel a whole lot better, Donald. Thank you so much. Still little like cloggy up here, and I'm still making the horrible cough, which probably will stay for the rest of the week because of the nature of it. But I'm feeling fine. So that's always a plus. How are you doing? I know that you've been having kind of a couple of rough weeks too, so I hope you're doing better as well. Been kind of worried about you. So we'll all get there. All of us will be fine somewhere down the road. We'll just up and down and up and down. It's the nature of things. So anyway, okay, so today's mission statement is we're going to be working on texturing of the bridge. Let's finish this. Good morning, Luna. How are you doing this morning? That's good to see you too. We'll be working on texturing the bridge. I don't even know if we have music. We have music. Oh, good. It's like, is the music working? Is anything working this morning? Am I working? So, all right, let's go on ahead and transfer over to the monitor. The monitor. All right, so we were working. This is, for those who don't remember, when you look at the bridge unit itself here. Oh, you know what? Vacations are the best. So when you look at the bridge unit here, inside the bridge dome, we have this back wall, and then this upper area, which is where science and tactical are, and then this Oh, yeah. Cheap breakfast. You know, I've been meaning to try Wendy's biscuit sandwiches. I've been kind of curious. Wendy's keeps trying to like get into everybody else's things too, and Wendy's sometimes is quite a superior fast food. So, and it's one that the kiddo likes. So there's always that. So okay. Anyway, we've got this kind of going on the structure here. We got the top, all of this orange stuff that's here. I just exported as one unit. It's good. That's good. Well, that is good. So I exported this all as one unit, which we then brought into here. And I'll actually close the content library so you can see it easier. Right? So this is what it looks like in the actual 3D space that I use with the maquettes and everything. So we've got this much in. All I did was take from here this guy, and I've started mapping him. So we're going to go ahead and work this map a little bit, right? So we kind of had to look to see what the underside piece looked like on the bottom, because this much of it's masked out. So we're going to take this paper, we'll duplicate it, duplicate layer, and put it there. I'm going to drop this down. By the way, for those who are curious, the Greek piece that I was doing last week was accepted as stood and is off to do whatever its little job is. So that's cool. So we're done being Greek. So that's good. In this instance, for the most part, what we're going to just do is mimic these layout pieces. That's on the wrong side. I can already tell. Is it a staycation, Luna, or is it an actual like you're off to the Caribbean for a couple of weeks? Inquiring minds want to know. Because of course we have to be nosy. Nosy is our job. Oh, yeah. Sweet. Yeah. We convention people. We have a lot of those conventions. I'm just going to go on ahead and just let this all be one unit here and not worry about it as much. Brent! Good to see you, my friend. I feel like this isn't going to work like I want it to. Okay, undo. I need to go for sort of a straight line here. Speaking of vacations, next week I'm going to be in Las Cruces. So I won't be able to do my show next week, which is okay. I'll be back the week after. We're going to go down and see family, which strangely I have family in Las Cruces, which isn't that strange. If I'm really lucky, we're hoping that we can have an away mission to the VLA, which would be way awesome. Just saying. All right. So what we're doing here is I'm rounding these corners because they artificially are going to look a little rough if I don't. So we're just making the corners kind of rounded. Right. That one sucked. Let's try this again. There we go. Right. I did that with Rocky Mountain Con. I was over at Rocky Mountain Con, and I just was like, I don't know what to do. I usually work these things, and everybody's doing work your way, folks. Just visiting, you know. It was really hard. I don't know what to do whenever I at a con and I'm not working it. I don't know if I want to do this. This may be, I may want to go on ahead and just straight line these. Okay, there we go. So this is going to ultimately move, not there, like this. What we really want. Okay, that sounds like a lot of fun, actually. Okay, so this is the sort of that shelf where the stairs are coming out, like that. And then this is the back wall right here. This is the bathroom. So we're gonna of the kitty wake. Here, I'll show you the bridge. I gotta get my mouse. There's my mouse. So in 3D, it's kind of hard to see it. We'll have to go inside. In 3D, the bridge it's difficult to see. You know what? Let me pull this back shell out. So we'll just go to the top and take this shell and move it. These are holographic shells. So they are, here we go. So the bridge of the kitty wake has these holographic shells on the inside, and then these struts that sort of hold the bridge together, protect the bridge. And then it has the main part of the floor here where the captain's chair is here. And then there's a helm that sits right here. Right. The bathroom's in the back. There's a bathroom on the right. And then this upper deck up here is where tactical and science is. So these two stations are tactical and science. Helm is right here, and right here is navigation. Right? The bathroom is right here. This is the bathroom. See how immediately accessible it is? There is a wall here, but this is the bathroom. So there's a bathroom directly behind the captain's chair. So you can technically kind of pee on the captain a little. Or at least think that while you're like getting mad at her for whatever order she gave you. So anyway, that's what we're working on right now. This section right here with this upper piece, this shelf right up here, and this back wall. Yeah, and I intend to use the or have the bathrooms play a part in our in our story. So, okay. So what we're doing right now is just we've already brought that structure into DAS, and you can see here's that upper deck. So here's the bathroom, and here's the upper deck, which is going to have the science station and the tactical station, and here's that lighting array on top. It's just lights. It's just the lights to light up the bridge and things like that. So we've already got it in here, and now I'm just making it look pretty. Yes, it is in fact multicultural, xeno-friendly plumbing. The bathroom is essentially a seat which has a hole and then a shower, so that and then there's a drain. So some of the creatures excrete, so they'll go in there and just stand there and excrete, and then it all goes down in the drain and they get washed off. And then some of the creatures can sit on the little chair thing and do their business, and that gets flushed away. But either way, it's an encased unit. Each stall is an encased unit for doing the business that nobody wants to have hanging around in the real world here. Right? Zip or button. So, anyway, what we are doing here is we are building this structure. We got a lot of structure to build here. I'm going to do that. Whole lot of structure to build and things like that. Vacuum tubes. Well, that's what I was saying. It's like a shower stall, and everything gets sucked into the little hole at the bottom. In normal conditions, the moment you close the door, there's a slight vacuum that just exists in there. Not enough to like suck your shoe into it or anything like that, but a slight vacuum going all the time to just naturally pull everything down. Right? So it's that kind of thought process that we're going for here. And then we will do this and this. Right? I have to go number 5. What? I have to go number 5. Okay. So because waste elimination is so remarkably taboo in our culture, it becomes sort of a chuckle moment for most sci-fi. Because let me hang on real quick. Come on. So hang on. I will message. Right. Well, that's what's so funny is like the there are so many, like, it becomes a humorous it becomes a humorous funny joke that like that. So it always kind of entertaining to me when we talk about all of the various humorous little things that go on. But we've got to kind of think about bathrooms. And there's actually going to be a scene which is, very much reminiscent of Luna and what she just said. Our poor main character is going to go to the bathroom. She has to go to the bathroom, and she'll go in and she'll be faced with a hole, and a shower. And she'll be like, what do I do? It'd be very funny and extremely reminiscent of exactly what you're talking about. Nope. So now we're just adding graphics in to make it look and feel like the design is in the cadre of Bellatrix Rising. That's what we're doing here. All right. All right. Now we're just putting in an inner circle here, which actually I think the more I think about this, the more I think I'm probably just going to connect the heck out of this. Right? It makes you kind of, she gets in there and she's like, I got so many buttons. just kind of imagine at some point in time, you have some poor character who's just like standing there naked, finally going, I didn't know what else to do. I just didn't know. I'm in the wrong pen. Here we go. I would assume also that maybe bathrooms would have a clothes recycler in it. If you're not super taboo about stuff anymore, and bodily functions kind of gets, untabooed, whatever you want to call that, then it might actually be really useful to have a clothes recycler in the bathroom. Accidents happen. Oh, Brent's birthday was on Wednesday and I missed it? How did I miss that? Or are we wishing the Marines a birthday? Right. I mean, you get sick, things happen, Or and I mean, and it also gives you a really quick functional location for you to go in, and you were working on the primary coolant line and it opened up and it sprayed gooey oily gunk all over you, right? You could just go into the bathroom stall and hit this sucks, the super shower mode, and just let all your clothes just like go into the drain and and get a new uniform. Put the uniform on. Although I have to kind of think about this because, of course, all of the different races do something different for uniform. Yeah, it was his other birthday. I get that. Right? There's always something. It's a spaceship. It's a big spaceship. There's going to be something that's going to goober you. There will always be something that will goober you. If you're lucky, that's all that ever happens to you. If you're unlucky, it doesn't just goober you, it dismembers you while it's at it. Right? They have the best. Yes, it does. It does, in fact. It has Founding Day. So somebody had said something to the effect of, we should always have or when you're world building, you should make sure that you have holidays that are unique to your world. So I went through and designed a ton of holidays, which was kind of fun. So Founding Day is one of the holidays in the Unity. They have a whole bunch of little festivals and things like that, which are also cool. But yeah, it is a day. And I'm sure that, like, the Navy would also have a Founding Day holiday of some sort as well. So there probably is some kind of haven't thought of that, though. I haven't thought of when the Navy was founded. But as this is a Navy vessel, they probably would have oh, hey, it's the Navy's birthday today. We all should have donuts in the mess hall, Right? Exactly. The we're awesome, but those other guys suck day. The day we beat those other dudes. Definitely one of those days. All right. It is a lovely day, and it really is making me nervous because it's in the middle of November. And it's going to be like 72 degrees Fahrenheit, like 20 degrees Celsius. And that's a very disturbing thing to me. It's already 20 out there right now. It's like a perfect day. It's a drinking holiday. And it is definitely a drinking holiday. The we're not pirates like those other idiots day. All right. Here we go. Exactly. Well, and with different worlds and with so few worlds that actually have conditions that are viable, like Renham is not a hospitable moon. It just happens to be somewhat hospitable and much more hospitable than the gas giant and stuff like that. So though it's it's a very different kind of culture. I'm going to put the lights in here too, because I got to put the lights in. But because of the nature of it, put this box here like so. We're going to have this line go that way, and this line goes this way, and then goes this way. Right? Ha! Yep. I love the fact that you're adding so much culture to this. There we go. Like so. We're just making it look like it should look. I'm giving it kind of the feel of a spaceship, kind of giving it little lines. This is called that's okay, Brent. You do what you need to do, my friend. You do what you need to do. This is something that I learned from Denise and Mike Okuda. who are the lead set designers for most of Star Trek. And what they used to do was they would take black electrical tape and go to a white wall and just run black lines and sort of have them go up and over, and sometimes add little dots and things like that. Then they'd go get the thick black tape and they'd run really specific black lines. And they're like, it made it look totally techie. And there was no real, it wasn't like it was specific, but it worked really well to make it feel like you had something going on, and it was a serious spaceship of some sort, and it had science fiction-y effect to it. So this is we're adding ocutagrams effectively to my ship. So here are our ocutagrams, right? He didn't know the bathroom controls. That's awesome. There we go. So all of this, these are just ocutagrams. We're just making it look like something that would work in here. We're going to take a rectangle guy right here and just make that one happy line. Same thing along the top. One big happy line like that. And then we don't have to worry about too much. But that's an interesting, it's a story that I remember reading. It had a picture of Denise, and she was just sitting next to the runabout model. That was a set of the runabout sitting on, it had crashed because that was part of the story of that episode. And one of the things that you could see is she's just got tape, and she's just putting tape on the runabout. Look, trying to clean a cat fountain. Oh, yeah. Yeah, currently. Yeah, right? I've got one of those perpetual drink feeders, so to speak. And you're right. It's like, why is this so hard? This shouldn't be so hard, but is for some reason. There we go. And there's a certain type of graphic that I add to make this look specifically like something that belongs in Bellatrix Rising. We have a certain aesthetic of these kind of circles and lines and dots and things to make it look like it belongs. That's not what I wanted to do. Like it belongs in our ship, right? So we'll do that. We'll do the same thing along this front curve here. We're just going to go on ahead and just pretend like it's round. And with the lines sort of giving like this, it makes it feel like it's round. even though clearly it's not going to be, and you're going to be able to see it very clearly by the nature of sort of this railing. It's obviously not going to be round, but because of the fact that I made this round through here, it's going to give the effect of, it's going to look like it should be round. And that'll be useful. I don't know why cats slime everything. I haven't figured that out. It does make me kind of worried when my cat like licks me. I'm like, I've cleaned your water bowl. You know, like I'm not sure about this, dude. Just saying. All right, we're going to go like this and then like this. Make sure that every aspect of this is clear. The reason is because this is going to cause sort of an optical illusion. Somebody is really cleaning something a lot out there. And it's very noisy. Probably someone trying to clean their cat fountain. Just decided that just now. All right. And put it here like so. There we go. No, you know what? If you zoom in, things go a lot easier, guy. Just saying. There we go. Just access plating all over the place. You never know what's going on under here. It's a ship. You know, it's like we just do what we are supposed to do here. Don't go there. Whatever there is, don't go there. Right here, danger. Danger. Speaking of danger, because without stairs, which there aren't any right now, you're just walking off the edge. Yay! That's not good. That's not good. People don't do no walking off the edge. Gonna make sure also that we've got as clear in here and clean in here as possible. Living on the edge. Oh my god! Okay. Wow, we're halfway there. You know how that goes. Live on the edge. Oh, wait. That's not the words? Come on. I don't believe you. All right. Just doing the lines here. Sounds worse than it is, but putting the edge on this will help it look like it's hand drawn. Right, so if we put this line work here, we put one random line like that. No, I don't like that. Okay. On the outside, we're going to do the same thing we did with the inside. We're going to take just a rectangle, and we're going to go along the outside edge here like so. We're going to go like this because we got to make sure we capture this section right here. But we're going to have to put a line on it because it didn't want to do its job or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, do that. And we'll do this. And then when that just becomes one big black thing, because I'm not actually really sure what it was doing. But then we'll do the same kind of graphic stuff we were doing before. We'll go here. And I've got to be careful not to make jumps across these lines right here, because what'll happen is I can go straight across them this way, but I can't go in any direction with it. If you do, what'll happen is from visual perspectives, you'll have an angle where you'll see a line and it'll do kind of like, it'll go this way and then it'll go backwards, then it'll go up and then it'll go down and go over. And you'll be like, what is going on with that line? So when I cross these lines, these guys right here, I have to either choose to draw a black line like that with the line, or I can go across it directly like this. But if I go like this, it'll look creepy and weird. So I've got to be very, very careful of that. Strange things you didn't know. Like so here, I can go up, but I've got to go across to get through those areas. Then go back down. Do that there. Right. Going over here, we're gonna come back down like so, and then come over like that. That should have gone the other direction. Go this way. If you're gonna do this, go this way. Damn it. Right there. There we go. That's what we're looking for. So we'll come along here like this, and then we'll just go down on that side. And we'll add a circle right here. So there's that. And then what we really should do, because this is directly above the captain's head, right here, we're going to go on ahead and go back one level and grab this. Right? Because this is directly above her head on the bridge. There. That way, directly above the captain's chair, looking up at the captain's chair area. I hope that is, in fact, directly dead forward. Otherwise, that's going to be kind of uncomfortable. Also hoping it's not upside down. And I'm actually kind of thinking it's upside down. It is. So we're going to take this. First, let's unerase that. Zoom in because this is upside down. So I'm going to take this guy and we're going to rotate him 100. Not you. You. No. You. Rotate him 180 degrees. There we go. Now we'll take. Let's hope it's also not inverted or something ridiculous. That'd be irritating. Okay. Okay, so here is the facing wall. Let me go back in here. Go to this side. Do that. So here is the facing wall for directly behind her. So let's talk a little bit about this being a line like so. And this being a line like, wow, this is creative. It's going to go wonky. Okay, so we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it this way and increase this to, say, 20. We're going to go like this because we got to go this way, like so. All right. There we go. Moving along. Boy, we're doing good here. Look at us. Look at us go. Look at us go. Okay. This is that kind of S-curved thing behind her. And I want to double check to make sure that it's turned the right way. And it is. So, okay. So see how it's kind of angled this way, like here, right? And then it kind of curves around like this in the front. So these two middle ones right here, where they're really close together, let's just count from the edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the 10th line from the right is dead center, which might look really weird to have some line there, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the 10th line. So this is center. Undo. I'll put that right here to remind us where center is directly behind her. Let's double check that. Yep, and so it's the right one of that pair, which I think also matches. It's the right one of this pair. So we're at a break real quick, so I'm actually going to stand up and figure out what the heck is going on out there. Because there is an awful lot of spraying or something. I'm not sure what they're doing. But they are slowly driving down the street spraying, which means they're getting closer and closer to our spot here, and I'm not sure what that means. But that's okay. Looks like I want to say they're blowing the leaves out of the gutters? Shrug? Maybe? Maybe not? I don't know. They're very happy about it. That helps me. Anyway, so everybody needs to stand up, stretch. As I say before, stick your arms into the fan. Do the neck thing. Hip thing. Pop everything. All right. Now I'll get back to work. Certainly, I want to do some kind of upper line like so. And we probably ought to do some kind of lower line that maybe comes up. Remember, we can't move vertically when we're there. So we'll do that. And maybe do it back here. Like so. I'll see you in 5 or 10, my friend. Boy, they're getting loud over here. It looks like they're street cleaners. And they're like just cleaning the street loudly. I mean, honestly, it's not like they can clean the street in the middle of the night. So I get it. It makes some sense, but it's still very loud. Okay. That line. Okay, we'll move along. That. This line. Here. Here. There. There's some guy who's walking along with a sign. It says slow. I don't know. Very funny. Anyway. So there we go. We've got that going for us. So yeah, I know, right? It's like so weird. Isn't it weird? Hey, come here, George. Here. Come here. Come here. Come here. 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 Come get Scritches. Come get Scritches. Come here. I'm here. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Hurry, 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 hurry. Come here. Come get Scritches. I haven't seen you all weekend. Come here. Here. Scritch, 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 scritch. This hurts. Come here. Goober. Make me chase you all over the house. Come here. Do you want Scritches? I want to scritch you. Come here. Make me chase you all over the house. I'm not chasing you under the bed. All I wanted to do was scritch the cat. Right? Street cleaners, phone cleaners, all those things are important. I don't know what I'm doing here. I have the wrong tool selected. All right. So we're kind of doing just widgets and pieces here, kind of making it look a little different. I have a feeling that these lines are going to feel too much thicker than the upper lines, but we'll have to see. I'm not going to worry about the bathroom wall at this moment because I kind of want to see if this fits first. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to save it. Right. We've got sort of bridge back wall structure 1 is what we're going to call this. Right. Okay. Let's switch over to here. And we've already got this in here. So we're going to just take this guy and we're going to browse. We've already kind of got all these things in here. These are all pieces, parts of ships and stuff like that. But we just saved this guy. So bridge back wall structure 1. All right. Now we look at all the mistakes. Now I'm noticing a ton of them. Right? Not the least of which is the Union Saturn looks like it's, I want to say sideways. Needs to be over one area. Right? But this doesn't look bad up here. This looks pretty good. And actually, this back wall doesn't look bad. And the underside fits perfectly. So that's not an issue either, even though I thought it was going to be. So really, it looks like the only place that there's an error or a mistake is in the Union Saturn here. But I'm also noticing that things look distorted here. Like this circle right here doesn't need to be that. So like this is not in fact upside down, is what I'm noticing. 1, this is right side up. 2, see how that's distorted there? That's exactly what I was talking about. Why we can't go across those things. And I did exactly what I wasn't supposed to do. Yeah. We got hentai. Sorry, guys. Still just a little bit. Well, although this is probably allergies and has nothing to do with what I was, the cold I was suffering from. George, if you want scritches, you have to come here. You're going to have to come down here. Like a poor marksman, you keep missing the target. All right. Okay. So we'll turn the paper back down, and then I will be very perplexed about how this works. Because it means this is center, and that doesn't make any sense. So we can switch to wireframe view, and actually we'll switch to what we call lit wireframe, which is not, I guess I should say, it should be wire texture. And that will tell me where everything sits. Clearly, this line, which is the next line to the right, is center. But if we look at here, the next line to the right is this guy. And I don't like the way this looks. Because on our map, if we look at this guy here, he looks perfectly straight up and down, dead center right there. But when we look here, he's crooked. And what that means is I'm going to have to make this map straight to his crookedness, right? So we're going to take first this guy. We're going to move him here because this is the one, right? I'm going to rotate 180 degrees for 1. And then we're going to have to assess that this line is straight. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take and we're going to say transform. And we're going to skew. And we're going to skew this line to the bottom and skew this line to the top, just like that. So we know that this is the center of the bottom, and this is the center of the top. Okay. And now we're going to hold our breath and see whether this worked or not. All right? Because if it didn't, we're going to be laughing a lot about how stupid this looks. And the next thing is I'm going to get rid of this line because it doesn't look right and it really just confuses me. I'm going to get rid of this because he didn't go well. I thought he'd look cool, and then he let me down. Just let me down. And that can be like that, and that'll be fine. Okay, because that's really the only thing I'm seeing. So now we're going to save as, we're going to save this as 3, 2. So wall structure 2. And then we'll go back over, because one of the goofy, stupid things about this just like that. And it's almost good, except it looks really good to the right and really crappy to the left, doesn't it? I'm almost tempted to just move it to the bottom and leave that alone. In fact, that's exactly what I think I will do. That is enough of a screw up that I'm going to undo, 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 and then take you and undo, take you and move you to right here. Directly behind her would be here. And then we'll rotate this guy like so. And then put it there instead. All right. Because that didn't work. It didn't look good. These guys don't look good. And really what it looks like is this bridge piece really needs to be remapped, but I'm not going to. That's ridiculous. And way more energy than I want to put into this for that. It's not worth it. So we're going to do this instead. And this probably actually makes better sense. And I'll tell you why. Because in the first scene of the comic, we have the captain sitting on this chair here, on her command chair, at her command chair. We'll just do texture shaded. There we go. There we go. Like that. The other thing we need to do is take the ambient and make it white. There we go. And that makes everything bright. But it also means that this light, which is right here, probably is actually shining on the logo and not, in fact, trying to make the captain irritated, which is, a plausible option here. Okay, looking at this, one other thing I kind of want to do is this line right here looks pretty lousy right along this edge. That's not the first scene of the comic. That's the first scene of a side story. I mean, you're not wrong. The first scene of the comic is her on the bridge. Captain Chang sitting in this chair. That's why we're starting with the bridge stuff and building the bridge right now. But here's the center console podium of the bridge. And I want to do this line right here. I'm not sure where that line is. I feel like it's somewhere and it didn't get defined or something. So the night of heavy drinking scene is, yeah, that's a different scene. Okay, so that's not in this fairing. That's not there. I've got to figure out where it is. I'm worried that maybe we didn't map it. Right? Like we didn't map it properly. Okay. Like, where is it? You? Let's see. We need to just figure this out, right? Oh, well, that's nice to know. We did it wrong. Okay. So, wondering what you might be wondering what's going on here. Right here, this edge. That edge is mapped, but this edge is not. This edge is not. It is, but it's mapped very, very tinily. Oh, guys. That's irritating because we've gone through an awful lot of work to find a mistake like this. Okay, so let's think about this. I mean, the problem is it's this piece right here, which is kind of glaringly obvious. And it's right up front, and it's going to be in every scene with the captain. And it's improperly mapped. What I might be able to do, though, because it's part of this mess down here, what if I were to take and just black the whole thing out and see whether that looks bad or good, like so. Maybe. So we will take that and give that a spin. And maybe that'll be okay. I think I might also adjust this line to be slightly thicker through here. Undo, don't be a mess. Because, I mean, really, honestly, legitimately, the last thing I want to do is go through and redo all of this. We just went through a lot of work here today. And to think that we'd have to undo all the work we did today and start all over again is kind of daunting, uncomfortable, not sure what to say. I mean, that seems like that's a unpleasant sort of trick to play. So we'll do that. And see if that doesn't help. That might help a lot. It might also make it look really bad, but we'll see. So let's see. We'll save this as structure 4. The wind's blowing. That's nice. Okay, we'll go in here and we'll load structure 4. Take a look at that and see how that helps. There we go. See, that's not so bad. I guess that works pretty okay. I guess that's acceptable. What do we think, guys? The problem is it's slightly blurry. I'm not sure. Let's try it with this being white. Because at least if it's white. Okay, whatever. And we are now on structure 5, which is the nature of the beast. Okay, so with it white, the only problem is this. Looking down on it like this, I'd have to go back in and redraw that line every time on the bottom of the bridge, or it just looks like somebody forgot to draw lines. The question really is, how often would we have this angle on the bridge, right? Because as soon as we are level with this up here, we're literally at the ceiling of the dome. So we'd have to be looking down on all of our dudes. They'll be tiny, and we're looking down on them, and that's probably not as good as we think it would be. So it may not be a big enough problem. Right? We may mostly be looking at this bridge piece from here, at which time all this underwork here will be fine, making it look like it's got a divided line and things like that, and that may just work just fine. And really, honestly, might not be a bad idea to just add something to it. Like a bumper. I wonder if I can do that. Create a primitive. Go for a torus. Major diameter is 5 centimeters. The minor diameter is 1. Let's make this something like 5 meters and see what happens. Right? Good. That's closer to what we want. So, if we take this guy, what if I can correct him in some way? I guess I can't really. You're like, what are you doing? Well, watch. You take this guy, you put him, let's go for a front view, right where he's in line with this, like so. And just like right here in the center of this all. And we take him, we go crank him down a little. Maybe we need an underside view. Get reasonable in here. All right, we put him right along this edge. Right? There are a number of ways to fix these problems. Okay. We'll go to the front view again. Front view. Because he's too high now. We'll move him down. So, as usually happens here, we've got this thing backwards. I don't know why things are always backwards, but they are. We'll put him like that. And what we can do now is say torus, surfaces, torus, diffuse color black, like so. Then we do perspective view. And when we get in here in perspective view, we now have kind of this line going along the bottom side there, which we can now raise up and just do that. And then maybe like so. It's a little harder to do. I don't know. This may not work like I want it to. Okay, then we'll come out a little. See what I'm looking for. We'll see. The idea is you can add sort of a line to the bottom there, but I don't think that's going to work like I want it to. That's a bummer. Well, I mean, it will, but it probably isn't going to be the work we're going to want to do right now. So, okay. This will work for the here and now. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Let's go back in here real quick. Now that we've done this guy, we're going to work on the struts. The only thing that's happening in the struts at this point, the only thing we see are these inside pieces. So I'm going to make sure that the outside pieces first are captured. So we're going to go on ahead and go into edit mode. I'm going to select the whole 9 yards. You can see what it thinks should be the mapping on it. We're going to do this. I'm going to look at it kind of from this angle. I'm going to say UV. We're going to say project from view, right? And that's going to give us this view of it. And then we'll be able to take this guy and just scale him up. Because we only need really the outside edge, not the inside edge. So we're going to go in here real quick. We're going to zoom in and we're going to select only the faces that are in front. All right, so we're going to do this because we want this side of him. Hard to make sure, but let's make sure we just have the outside because this is the least of our worries. Right, we don't need to worry about this side at all. Right, so that's the outside stripe of this. And we'll get the bottom feet too because we don't need those either. Okay. Now these guys, we don't need to mess with them. They can be infinitely small. Move these guys over here into the bottom left. That story, by the way, Brent, you were talking about the scene with the AI in the bedroom. That's a story that I'm just going to give to like the patrons or whatever. It's going to be in a side story that sits on the desk or the table. You can buy it separately and stuff like that. Major reason being that we're going to want to, first of all, obviously, it has an inordinate amount of nudity, which I'm sure is going to just freak somebody out. It's only a matter of time. So I don't want to have to fight that fight in like Facebook or whatever, because somebody's going to say, "Oh, what a horrible person you are for naked people," and I don't want to fight that fight. I just don't. Okay, so we need the face here. This is this part. Dang it! It keeps selecting things in the back. It's a perpetual. Yeah, the nudity issue it's always a nudity issue because I'm always worried that somebody's going to completely flip out about it. Funny, because I'm not worried about that for any violence in my comic book or anything. All right. So we should call it. We should call that episode the nudity issue. All right. Now, we're going to go as lined up as possible with this, so that we're as straight as possible on it. And we're going to say, project from view. There we go. This way, it looks pretty much exactly like it should look. You know, it's... It should be the boobs issue, right? 8008S. Issue 8008. Which one's that? That's the boobs issue. All right, so kind of running this outside edge here. Gonna do UV, project from view so that it's the correct sizey thingy. And put you over here just until I'm done projecting the other side. That side, that side. That's still the back side. Okay, really? Maybe it would be easier to just grab it from here. That's inside, so I don't want to mess with that. Okay, that's you, and you're pretty much like so. So we can just go UV, project from view, work. Look at that. Lined up, nice. Nice, NAHS, nice. And then we'll go through here, go work. Work. We'll just, you know what, we'll just do this. UV, project from view. We'll grab you and put you, whoa. Grab you and put you down here. And we'll go over here. This seems really time consuming, but the truth is it's far better for us to just do it this way. Except whenever you screw it up. But, you know, other than that. There we go. Okay. Here we go. UV, project from view. We're going to just take you and move you down here. Okay, now we grab the whole 9 yards, and it's all over the place. Look at all those pieces, they're going everywhere and stuff. So this guy is like right here in the front, and this guy is in the back. And we can actually take these guys and rotate them so that they actually follow sort of the concept here of this guy, right? Like this guy needs to kind of do the same thing. Rotate him so that he fits. Like so. And this is the underside. The Undertaker. Okay. It's funnier in my head. Okay, we can take him and just put him like so. And actually with this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these guys, the bottom half, and put this right here like so. And I'll take the top half. Move it right. Ah, thanks. Move it right under here too. Kind of gives it even more of that crab look, doesn't it? And then this is the top. Straight up. So now we can just take this guy and do this. And now that strut is mapped. You know, that's what the map of that strut looks like, and it looks just fine. And there it's extended out as much as sort of possible, but you kind of get the idea. I'm going to do this strut next. And this strut's actually relatively easy. It's not the weird one. We're not the weird strut. Okay. Boy, I'm hungry. Okay, we'll go here. We'll do this. And then we will say edit mode. We'll select all of you. And it goes, oh, no, I don't know how to handle you. And I say, yeah, I know. And then we go, make this easy for you. We'll do this. I'll say UV, project from view. Okay, we got to remember that the other struts here. So most of the stuff we're just going to do like that. We're going to take just like the other guy and go here. And then this, and then this, and then this. That's not the right one. That's not the right one either, isn't it? It looks like it's the left side that it did there. This, and then this. And we'll just capture the back part of the strut. And that. And that. And then the inside piece doesn't need to be dealt with that much. And it did it backside. Nah. I wanted all of your help. I would have asked for it. Ah. Oh, God. Sometimes I don't understand how this works. It's like it has selected more. I didn't want it to select more. Then we're going to have to start all over again because it just selected a whole bunch more for no reason. There's no reason for that. It was ridiculous. Oh, no. Okay, we got that. Okay, good, good. And then you. You're all only the back, right? Only the back side. Yep, I'm going to eat lunch, but not for another 20 minutes. But my wife bought cinnamon raisin bagels. I'm kind of like and stuff. So I've got some cinnamon raisin bagels kind of hanging out downstairs, kind of waiting. So, but I want to finish port side struts and then starboard side struts, and that should be fine. If I do port side struts, I can duplicate them into starboard side struts and then just flip the maps. So we're going to do that, and it won't actually matter unless the struts say something, which they won't. So I don't have to do both sides. So we're just going to do one side. The other side was just so that we can make sure it looks symmetrical. But really, we're only going to do one shell and then one side of struts. So, because the other side, if we do write anything, we'll just have a reversed version, which will be inverted. And I'll show you what we're doing on that one in a second. First things first, we take these guys and we put them in the oubliette. And it goes like so. We go, oh, yes, you poor guys. We make you infinitely small. And then we move you into the oubliette, which is right here. Okay? And then we take the front side and we will just go work. This is the front. And you, and you, and you, and you, and you. That's the front of this strut. And then we will line it up. So this project from view thing is great because it gives me the ability to get a head-on hit of that, right? Because this is literally what it would look like if you looked straight at the front of it, because I've aligned myself to the front. So that's perfect. It looks great. I'm going to straighten it up a little, though, so that it's not so weird. And we're going to move him over here just so we don't have a problem with him. We're going to do the same thing from the side, here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here. And that's just this left side, I guess, or right side, I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to look straight at it like this and then say UV, project from view. And that gives me this side view that's really nice. It looks exactly like the other thing. Let's stick it over here so I don't lose it. I'm going to do the other thing, other side, just the same way. You, and then you, not you. You, and you, and then you. I'm going to swirl along here like so. And you, and then you. And zoom back out and go straight to the side as much as possible. UV, project from view. I'm going to take that and go over here like so. Now we can just take and select the whole guy. And we've got this side like so. And we've got this side like so. And we'll scale him down a little so that, oh man. Scale him down a little so that he fits a little bit better. And then we can rotate it because it doesn't matter at this point. We'll go like so, move him in right like this. And we'll grab this guy and do the same thing. We'll rotate him. And then we'll push that in like so. And now we have this strut, which we'll put right here for right now. Looks like somebody's evil logo. Evil logo. Dun dun dun. Okay, so maybe it's not an evil logo, but maybe it's an evil logo in my mind. Okay, last one. This back strut guy right here. Right, this is the weird one. He's a weird shape. So we'll go into edit mode, and we'll, first things first, let's grab all the pieces you can't see and oubliette them. That you can't see that one, so let's not do that one. This one, this one, this one, this one, and that one, and then that one. And we'll oubliette those. And we'll say UV, project from view. It won't really matter at this point in time because we can project from view like this. Project from UV, project from view. Okay, now these guys all get relegated to the oubliette. There we go. Oubliette. You've been oublietted. Move you off the side there. Okay. Now we'll take the other side of this, which is easier to see from this weird little angle here. But since, no, see, I said that and then I spoke way too soon. There we go. And look at this. Straight on. Like, this is a very strange guy. He's got weird angles to him. So I'm going to try to get as dead on as possible. And then we're going to say UV project from view. There we go. I'm going to move this guy out of here to up here. And we'll go to one side. You, and you, and you, and you. We'll do the same thing. Kind of try to get as good an angle on this as possible. And it's very important that we get as lined up as possible because when we say project from view, it's going to give me a view of this, that this is going to be the flat drawing side. So we've got to make sure that when we do something that's projected from a side, we want to make sure that it's as flat to the viewer as possible. Because when I draw in all the lines later, we want those lines to look as legitimately flat to the viewer as possible. So we'll look here like so, and we'll say project from view. We'll grab you and move you out here like so. Now we've got the whole thing. We take you, we put you right here. You're already kind of lined up. You look just fine. And we'll rotate you so you fit nicely. Kind of like so. Kind of looks like a pork chop. See, I'm hungry. I can tell. Like, have you noticed how much my model looks like a pork chop? Pork chop. All right. Another enemy logo I have made. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take and go into object mode. We're going to select all three struts. We're going to connect, and we'll get you, and then we'll get you. Okay. Then we go into edit mode. And when we do, you'll see we've now got all three of these struts in the same spot. So now we can actually kind of decide how they all fit on here. And this guy probably could be turned sideways like so and moved so that he's here. And we can make him bigger. Right? We can make him like slightly larger like so. And maybe not that much larger, but like that much larger. And we can move him over here. And then we take this guy, We make him slightly larger too, because he now can take up much more space. We'll move him over. So we've got kind of that going for him. Right? And our oubliette pieces can now move to, say, here. That's probably a good space for them. And then this guy can go live here. And we can shrink him down a little. And he'll be about roughly the same size as everybody else. Move him to about here. And move him to the side just a hair. And actually, we'll spin him just a little because he needs just a hair more room. Like that. And this is how we maximize this part. Now, I want to make sure that the width of all of these struts is roughly the same for everybody. So we're going to grab this guy because he's actually kind of short a little. I need to grab that center section there. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. I see. We've made this complicated now because now I can't actually grab these guys. All right, we can rotate him so that they're kind of out a little bit and then make him a little larger and move him in. There we go. And this way, all of the middle widths are pretty much the same size. The reason is because when I go through and draw this, I'm going to be putting the same width of line through all of these pieces. So we don't want them to be, so much bigger on one strut that the lines are really thick looking, and then a little one and the lines are really thin, and you want them to kind of look that kind of way. So here is the most important piece of this. We're going to export as an OBJ. We're going to call this the bridge struts, right? We have to make sure we have clicked limited to, because we've done this problem before, limited to selection only has to be clicked. Otherwise, you're going to export the entire stupid bridge. We don't want to do that. So we're going to call that the bridge struts.object, and it's selection only. I'm going to put that in there and then export the objects. Okay, they've been exported. They need to be selected again while it does the little thinking. It's thinking. Okay, so we're going to make sure that they're selected. Nope. And we're going to go through here again. You, and you. No, you. That's it. Go back into edit mode. And this brings up all of this over here because now we're going to do our screenshot and we're going to take into our Windows. Don't click the Windows button. Windows Shift S, and that gives us our screenshot. Try to line up as much as possible here. There we go. And now we bring it in here and we say paste. And this is going to be our struts. Yes, we're going to do a copy real quick. We have about 7 minutes, but let's see what I can do in about 7 minutes. All right, we'll call these struts. You Come down just a little bit there. I'll turn you off real quick while I resize this. Okay, so here we've got this layer. We're going to go up here and do this. We also want to make sure it's the right size. So we're going to... Okay. Now we'll go for here, turn on the paper. And we'll add a new layer. And this one's called Struts. I know, we're saying a lot of struts. Struts. Okay. We got this here. We're going to go to the line tool. Grab my lines on this one. This should be relatively simple. Okay. Let's go through here and just trace. And should quickly, this won't take very long. We should just trace this on in. It'll be fine. And I'm just following the points. Here we go. All of us following these points. Look at us following these points. And I'll just keep following all the points in all of these struts. Do. And we just go along. This won't take very long. Only a couple of minutes. Do. And we'll probably have to do a small amount of graphic design on these just to make them work. Because, I mean, really, honestly, they are kind of boring without some kind of graphic design on them. So we'll come back in real quick in a minute and graphic design the heck out of them. I noticed that coming up on some of this here, we are coming up on the end of the show. I'll probably go just a minute or two over. The struts look cool, though. I like the idea of these struts on the bridge. Like giving some weird frame to the way that we look at stuff. And frames sort of the function of, so when we're looking at other spaceships or we're looking out at space, since the entire bridge is holographic, you could technically just pretty much just draw characters standing in space, but that's very disorienting for people, and it's very disorienting for my readers. So logistically, we've got to add something that makes you go, oh, okay, so you have a reference point in the universe. And that's what these struts really do, is they give sort of a reference point of, oh, there's the edge of the bridge. It also gives the character sort of the warning that that's the edge of the bridge, before you go walking into a wall, which I'm sure would be fun. I hit the wall. Thump. Are you okay, George? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Just hit the wall. Okay. So there's our base struts, right? Just the basic, there's nothing strange going on here sort of struts. And so we'll add some graphic design to it. Let's give it just a little bit of graphic design so that it doesn't feel so weird. This side could be sort of like so. Right. No, that's not going to work. And it's because this is aligned with the ceiling. So we want this to go like so. Otherwise, it'll look really strange. Nope, that's not going to work either. And that'll work more like that. There we go. I'm on the frickin' paper. Dang it. I did this before. I was like, well, I'll just live with it. But this time I'll live with it because I don't really want to mess with it anymore. All right. Undo, switch to black. There we go. That should give us some interesting sort of design here. Like that. Doesn't look totally weird and alien. There we go. Now we'll save this as, and we'll call this bridge Struts. And now we'll go into here and let's import struts. Bridge struts, like so. Read the UV coordinates. They're very, very, very small. So we'll have to bring them up in size. Look at that. There we go. But the thing is that we already know we made this 225.54. So if we were to say make this 3,000%, and we could just click on this and do the same thing. Right now they're both the same size. We go top view, and we take these guys and we just place them in their correct location. Bottom view, isn't it? No, it is top view. Let's do left. There we go. You see how well it just aligns right there, just like that. We take this set, shaping surfaces, we take bridge struts, diffuse color, browse. We already have the struts.jpg, look at that. And then the diffuse color needs to be white, and their ambient needs to also be white. There we go. And now we have struts that read. Oh, they need to be moved over just for a fraction, don't they? Front view, back view, because they're backwards. And look at that. Knock the struts in just where they need to be. And perspective view. And there they go. Look at that. And the only thing I can think of is they need to be pushed forward just a smidge. Moved over. Not you. You know what? That works. And there we go. Guys, look at that. There's the beginning of the actual structure of the bridge. I can take this now and I can duplicate it. Dang it. Duplicate node. And we'll take this guy and move him over here. And then we can just take him and flip him. Right? And once we flip him, wait, whoa. Okay, what's the story here? We flip him. Dang it. Z. Okay. You became the other struts. So we're going to just go boo 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 doo, and we'll go up to parameters and we'll say scale. And it's the X scale. So we're going to do minus 100%. And then go back to the front, or I guess the back, because we're reversed. Right? And now we can just move him to here. Did he just... Oh, I did, didn't I? Well, what an idiotic thing. Okay, well, that's all right. There we go. Sadly, but there we go, guys. The struts are in place. The back wall's in place. Looks pretty cool. Doesn't it look neat? Look at that. I'm a brilliant man. Okay. The show is over. I'll see you all tomorrow. We'll continue with the floor and the outer shell, which I may actually finish today. We'll see what happens. So I will see you all later. And remember, everybody, to keep your eyes on the stars. Bye-bye.
Computer, good night.